Now, the creation of the asking formula came partly from my role, as you heard, as Chief Operating Officer at American Express. I ran a large global organization, $1 billion sales a year, $500 million of inside sales in addition to that, service representatives all over the country, and it became apparent to me that for us to be good, to differentiate ourselves from anybody else, wasn't our products or our service, it was our ability to effectively influence outcomes. Part of what you're going to learn today is from my first book called Ready Thinking, Primed for Change. And Ready Thinking is a book about how to take change as a catalyst for good in your life, not as an episode to work yourself through, but as an operating philosophy to win in a market, in an industry, in your own life, using change as opposed to having change use you. And what I found through that first book, by the way, was the first step of change is learning how to ask for an outcome. And it's one of the things that most people are bad at. All right? But the real genesis for what I am teaching you today came from a conversation I had with my son Jack about his 9th grade geometry. I don't know if you guys remember 9th grade. Some of you up here don't seem that far away from 9th grade. It was a long time ago for me. And I remember it like yesterday because 9th grade for me was not a pleasant time. I'll tell you that right now. When I started 9th grade, I was 5'7". I weighed 145 pounds. And when I ended 9th grade, I was 6'6", and I weighed 149 pounds. Which is a tough thing when you're growing that fast. There's some advantages if you sat on the sofa and your soda was just out of reach. You just kind of waited a couple minutes, and you could reach it. It was an amazing thing. It was like a guy in the Fantastic Four, just Gumby Man. But that was the days before internet and where you could buy anything on the internet. It was difficult today to find 28-inch waist and 38-inch inseam pants. I'll just tell you right now, there's not a lot of those out there. So I ended up wearing pants up to my ankles. Not a good look. And of course that meant I fell in love immediately for the first time in my life, which meant, of course, that I had acne. And, the whole thing just kind of imploded, right? And one of the things that was the least preferable, the least enjoyable parts of all that year was 9th grade geometry. Why? Because my brother, Tom, he told me, oh, no, this is great. You're going to learn how to bank the 8-ball into the corner pocket, how to arc the golf ball around the clown, all those cool life skills. But no, is it? 9th grade geometry is about proof statements. Remember those? Horrid things. Quadratic equations, if-thens, A-B rules. All that stuff that you'll never use in your life. But can you tell your 9th grader that when he's looking at you for help? No, you can't. By some law, a father can't say, son, don't worry about it. Just blow this off. Can you copy somebody? You can't say that. So there he was looking at me. There I am looking at him. We're both looking at the text. We're both kind of generating some frustration. And in exasperation, I finally said, Jack, did the teacher cover this today? Oh, yeah, Dad, but she goes really fast. And none of us really understood what she was talking about. And I asked an open-ended question. I go, well, who amongst you and your buddies, since none of you understood what was going on, who amongst you raised their hand and asked for help? Well, he said the teacher doesn't like that, which says something about our public school system, right? But she says, hold your questions to the end because she might answer them. She's got a lot to go through. But then the bell rang, Dad, and class was over, and we didn't have a chance to get our questions out. She does, though, say that if you need help, you can come in after school and get it. Now, in full disclosure, I had already had my scotch for the evening, and I knew the minute this came out of my mouth that it was the wrong question to ask, but I did it. I asked, did you go in after school and ask for help? And his answer was, give me some participation here. What do you think his answer was? It was like I grew a second head, right? I was like, go in after school and ask for help. Of course not. I became more concerned right then of his inability or unwillingness to ask for what he wanted, a life skill, than I was he'd ever have to use 9th grade geometry. And I found the same thing at work. I found salespeople who were really good at what they did, but they couldn't ask for the close. I had great leaders who worked under me, who could not ask me for what they wanted unless they met with me for an hour and had 50 PowerPoint slides. We had wonderful relationship people who did wonders in getting clients to believe in us and our brand, but if I asked them to go raise 2% more on fees, it would freeze them. It became apparent to me that asking is a skill in short supply. We didn't learn it, and it's crucial to our lives, and is the foundation of my book. This fundamental truth that asking is at the center of our success. This is a program or a case study about Bill and Cheryl. Real quickly. Bill works at Rockford Print, and he's been upset ever since. Rockford Print announced the merger a year ago. Since the merger, his workload has doubled, if not tripled. He has so much work on his plate, he doesn't want to know what to do first and what can come later. Bill hasn't had a vacation in 9 months. Worse yet, he had to cancel 2 pre-planned family vacations because of the pace of his job. He constantly worked weekends. He's working overtime, but at the same pay prior to the merger. He doesn't know what to prioritize. Recently, a client came in and reprimanded Bill in front of his coworkers about a missed standard that Bill caused. Something that's never happened before. Cheryl is Bill's manager, and Bill thinks it's high time he talks to Cheryl about his concerns. What are they? 1, I'm working long hours, often coming in on weekends, but at the same pay prior to the merger. 2nd, I haven't had time off to decompress. I need a vacation. I've had to cancel 2 in recent history. That's not good work at home. 3, I often act as a supervisor. I don't have training for that. 4, I'm concerned that the recent issues with the client are going to impact my year-end performance review. He goes in and he talks to Cheryl about his concerns. And when he's done, he feels better because he thinks Cheryl understands his issues, and he's convinced Cheryl will do all she can to alleviate the problems. The answer to this: what does Bill want? Is this working? What? Yes, just shout it out. A raise, thank you. More money, great. Is that a person from New York? Vacation, thank you. Training for what? Supervisory, yeah. Have you ever gotten thrown into this situation? Yeah, hey, go be a salesperson. Yeah, okay. You got any training for that? No, you're born that way. Just knock yourself out. Well, supervision is the same. What else? More help, yeah, through the staff. I need more bodies. What else? What else did you hear? Less hours, thank you. Thank you. I need help prioritizing. And room. What else? Yeah, I want success. Isn't that a great thing? I don't think I can get there. I need your help. I need a definition of that. I want to be successful. What else? These are all good. They're wrong, but they're really good. What else? Let's get that figured out before we... All right, let me tell you what Bill wants. We're getting closer, but not quite. Do you know what Bill wants? Well, those are good. Here it is. Who doesn't? What Bill wants, I don't know. I don't know what Bill wants. Now, about a week ago, I was in front of a bunch of engineers teaching them this. And they started debating me about what Bill wants. And I was like, well, you do realize that Bill and Cheryl, they're made up. I made them up, right? I mean, you get that. And they're like, no, give us some time. We'll get to root cause. I'm like, no, you can't, because by design, we don't know what Bill wants. Here's the question. Cheryl's Bill's boss. What are the chances that Cheryl will give Bill what he wants? 0%. Why? Because Bill doesn't even know what he wants. And the best thing Cheryl's going to do is probably guess. Asking is tough. Why? We like to inform. That's what we like to do. It's risk-free. Here's the information. Do with it what you want. Here's my resume. Here's the budget. Here's our goals. We inform immediately through emails, voicemails, texting. God, isn't technology great? We can provide even more information. But it's a pretty weak way to influence. Why? Because I have no dog in the fight. Here's the information. Knock yourself out. Do with it what you will. I hope you make the decision I want you to make, but there's the information. The other way we get to influence is through the use of command. Once in a while, we get to tell people what to do. Isn't that great? Isn't that a lovely way to run your life? I get to tell you what to do. If I'm your parent, I don't inform you of the traffic out in the street in front of our house. I tell you, get your butts in the backyard. Coaches, bosses. I work with the Department of Defense. I work under orders of the Secretary of Defense, helping veterans come back from the battlefield and adjust to civilian life. And I want to tell you, I've been doing this now for 5 years. We're very concerned about the level of depression and suicide, divorce, drug use, unemployment from our veterans returning from battle. And one of the things we found was there's a lot of support out there that our soldiers are not using. And we asked them, why didn't you get off your rear end and go down to the community center and get that help writing a resume that's offered to you for free? And here's what they say to us. Nobody told me to. How come you didn't go down and enroll in the VA benefits that you're entitled to, that you need to get as part of your health? Nobody told me to get off the couch and do that. You see, they're so used to command that they don't know how to behave in a different way of influencing. Command can be very, very powerful. And we have to move them away from that. We have to get them used to the murkiness, the emotion that's tied up with wanting an outcome, but not being able to tell somebody what to do. We want an outcome. Information's not enough. We want an outcome, but we can't tell you what to do. We have to ask. I want that job. I want that promotion. I want that budget. I want that sale. I want that referral. I want that new programming. I want that opportunity. I got to ask for it. It's tough to do.